Big boo! Meghan and Harry's interview was boycotted on the celebrity stage at the NTA Awards 2021. Meghan Markle and Harry's infamous interview to U.S. talk show host Oprah Winfrey, which shocked not only the British public but the rest of the world, was booed during the NTAs, Britain's leading TV awards, the sources reported, citing that according to outlets, the incident occurred during the segment featuring the biggest moments on TV over the last year. Snippets of various talk shows and programs, interviews, broadcasts appeared on screen during the segment. When a clip of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry speaking to Oprah Winfrey was shown, the audience expressed displeasure. One audience member told the Mirror as soon as Meghan and Harry appeared on screen, the audience started booing and then everyone joined in. It was really loud and funny. A celebrity who wished to remain anonymous told us when the clip came up of Meghan, there were boos from the audience. Some shouted out and there was laughing. There were a few embarrassed faces, but sadly, Meghan was obviously not too popular on the night. According to the Daily Mail, the booing was cut off from ITV's live broadcast of the event. The outlet stressed that given the fact that the National Television Awards are usually packed with celebrities, the booing incident suggests that the Sussex's reputation has soured among the elite. According to members of the royal family, they are known for keeping a stiff upper lip and not discussing their private lives. It's this reason with the Oprah Winfrey was considered extraordinary, along with sensational claims the two made. Meanwhile, critics have the verdict that there were inconsistencies in the claims. According to The Sun, their Oprah interview is one of the biggest mistakes they've ever made. It showed the public just how far they'd go to mislead and manipulate us. It was their first major torpedo against the royal family in an increasingly bewildering attack that doesn't make any logistical sense. Their truths made Oprah and Gayle King look like fools, who've subsequently distanced themselves. Their lack of proof and many disproven claims have only alienated people around the world who respect and hold the Queen in high regard. You can't tell me either of them has good judgment or intelligence. Not surprised. What they did was absolutely disgusting. Going ahead with a program like that, slacking off his own family, all whilst his grandfather was dying in hospital, while his grandmother was anguished about that. Who does that? What kind of low-life people would do that to elderly relatives? I don't care who they are, how privileged they are, or even if they weren't nice to Harry. Doubtful. An elderly, frail, old couple like that needs to be treated with some respect. I would throw eggs at them and boo at them both for that act alone if I ever saw them. Back in the past, they were booed at the Royal Albert Hall, too, when feigning to be working royals. Meghan clutched her bump, grabbed H's hand as he scowled in disbelief at the spontaneous reaction to their arrival. No amount of money spent on PR can polish a Richard III. They need to stick to whittling benches and rescuing chickens, perhaps in a house their lack of actual talent can afford. I bet Meghan and Harry are scribbling their complaint letter as we speak. For posters who are saying Harry and Meghan don't care what the British people think of them, get real. Their only claim to fame is Britain and the royal family. They care what people believe. That's why they're desperate to visit the Queen and have the baby christened at Windsor. They need to re-establish that royal British connection. Harry will be filming in Britain for his Invictus documentary, and soon if the reports are correct. I hope he gets booed. He needs to disclose if he's using betterance to line his own pockets or if the profit will be donated to the Invictus Games. As an American, I would like to know what type of visa he is here on and if he's paying U.S. taxes. In my opinion, he should be made to get a green card or get out. Meanwhile, Meghan tried to bring American issues to the UK in hopes of being a voice for the people. Had she done her homework, she would have realized early on that the issues in the UK are already being addressed by the very people who live here, and we're making good progress. Meghan, use your voice in the USA if people are stupid enough to listen to you, which I doubt. But don't come to the UK and insult us because we can see right through your sort. We're British and we're proud people. We don't need idiots like you on our shores. Only to be expected, really. They've insulted our dear Queen, shoplifted her pet name and British taxpayers' money on a lavish wedding which she mocked on Oprah, disrespected Prince Philip in his dying days, and showed no mercy for the royal family in their grief. To hell with them, I say. If they were members of my family, I would slap their faces until they fell over. Not to mention her abominable treatment of her own father, the guy who bankrolled her dreams and created the monster we see today. A few pap shots taken by the very same agency that she has on speed dial is not only highly suspect, but so very far from being a legitimate reason to disown him. But of course, she's all about compassion. If she says it enough, someone might actually believe it. And the question now is, why did they cut out their jeers and boos when they didn't cut the obvious lies during the interview? The cheesy grin on her face? Nobody knows that. Harry just stared at the chickens thinking, my God, what is she going to come out with next that I've got no option but to go along with? Meghan Markle knew she was lying. Harry knew she was lying. Oprah knew she was lying. Even the chickens knew she was telling porkies, but gave her a pass because, after all, she rescued them. And more. Is their charitable foundation gaining traction? It can't have done Oprah's reputation a lot of good to allow that interview to go out with no fact-checking. Even the basics. Harry was a super royal starting to do great things for the military veterans in the UK and could be heralded as a champion for ex-military personnel, a role which badly needs a figurehead, and he was perfect in his Commonwealth connections. Meghan seems to have hijacked him and moved him to a lot of really non-existent issues which seem to be inflaming things, not solving them. She's thrown so many of both her and Harry's families under the bus, yet lives in astonishing luxury thanks to the association with the royal family, and both refuse to relinquish the titles. She hates the UK so much and even put Harry in an American uniform. It shows her poison to extremes, yet lives off it and feeds off it and has never stopped abusing the Queen, a frail 95-year-old woman who's just lost her husband and who sends presents to her children regardless. She nicked her precious pet name in order to cling onto royalty for her own ego, glory, incessant thirst for fame and power, yet everyone will always cringe at it as if there is acrimony between them. She's a megalomaniac woman who seems to be ruthless and calculating, destructive, even a liar, and the boos have proven that people are not as stupid as she thinks they are. I hope that the narcissistic pair of bullies are getting used to all the booing and jeering. Harry and Meghan will be receiving a great deal of it from the British public if they ever make any public appearances here in the UK, especially if the moaning Markles try to show up on the balcony during the Queen's Jubilee next year. Even the Obamas are boycotting that toxic duo just like all the other A-list stars are doing. No one wants to be associated with a trashy couple who sit on their backsides all day long and go around publicly attacking their own families to get attention. The Queen should really be doing her duty to the British taxpayers by stripping the Sussexes of all titles and privileges. The world has had enough of Harry and Meghan's disgusting behavior, the pathetic victim playing.